Hey, and welcome back to Miss Kitty's Wild West Adventures. Today, I have a tale of a criminal so despised that even his own gang couldn't stand to be around him. Any ideas who it might be? Pause the video now and leave your comment down below. Welcome back. Let's get into it. Meet William Downing, the Wild West notorious troublemaker, known for his quarrelsome nature and lawless exploits. Fleeing from the Texas Rangers, Downing found himself in Arizona, where he settled in Wilcox and joined an outlaw gang led by Bert Alvord, who also happened to be the town constable. They say there's a fine line between lawman and criminal, but in Wilcox, it seemed like that line was as blurry as a tumbleweed in a sandstorm. While living in Wilcox, Downing killed a man, but was acquitted when he claimed self-defense. Despite his acquittal, Downing's reputation as a ruthless outlaw grew. Soon after this event, Alvord hired Downing as a deputy to help rid Wilcox of boisterous cowboys, while pursuing their own criminal careers without arousing the suspicion of the townsfolk. Dancing on that fine line again. The Alvord gang soon hatched a plan to hold up the number 10 train that stopped at the Cochise station. On September 9, 1899, the gang scored between $2,000 and $3,000 in cash and jewelry. The heist was so successful that the men wasted no time planning their next one. On February 15, 1900, the Alvord gang attempted a second major robbery, this time on the number 1 train in Fairbank, Arizona. To their surprise, former Texas Ranger Jeff Milton was on board the train that day. And despite being injured himself, Milton was able to shoot Jesse Three-Fingered Jack Dunlap.
Talk about a handful.
The other members of the gang fled the scene, leaving Dunlap behind. On the brink of death, Dunlap revealed the names of those involved in the failed robbery, including Bill Downing. Now here's where Downing's quarrelsome nature began to catch up to him. He was eventually arrested in Tombstone and was awaiting trial for train robbery. On April 7, 1900, another member of the gang, Billy Stiles, went to the jailhouse, shot the jailer, and freed everyone from the jailhouse, with the exception of Downing. To add insult to injury, many of these freed gang members turned against Downing and testified against him in his trial. If convicted, he would face the death penalty. Yes, that's right. This is another case of a felonious attack on a train. And in that time in Arizona, the penalty would have been death. Well, the jury, they heard all the evidence, and they believed he had done it. He was guilty of robbing a train, but they didn't agree with the penalty. So they ended up acquitting him for train robbery. Instead, they found him guilty of interfering with the U.S. mail, and he was sentenced to 10 years at Yuma Territorial Prison. Upon his release, Downing returned to Wilcox, where he opened a saloon during a time when gambling, prostitution, and serving alcohol to women were illegal. Defying all these laws, Downing hired prostitutes, who were also skilled pickpockets. He was arrested often for these crimes. He would pay the fine and then went on his merry way. Then one day, he upped the ante when he assaulted his barber because he didn't like the service he received. Soon, the citizens of Wilcox became tired of this drunk and unruly saloon keeper and sent a petition to Harry Wheeler, the captain of the Arizona Rangers, requesting protection from Downing. In the meantime, Downing caught one of his working girls stealing from a customer and beat her to within an inch of her life. Wasn't that what he had hired her to do after all? The new constable, Bud Snow, recruited Arizona Ranger William Slaughter, Billy Speed, to arrest Downing once and for all. What Snow didn't know, however, was that Captain Wheeler had instructed his Rangers to kill Downing on the spot without any hesitation. When Constable Snow entered the front door of Downing's saloon, Downing fled out the back door, where he met Ranger Speed along with a bullet from the Ranger's Winchester rifle. Downing died instantly. Arizona Ranger Captain Wheeler made the following remark in regard to the community's reaction to Downing's demise.
This is the first time I have known a dead man to be without a single friend, and the first time that I have known a killing to meet absolute general rejoicing in all this town and precinct.
Downing was buried in an unmarked grave in the old city cemetery of Wilcox, aka Wilcox Pioneer Cemetery. The coroner's jury found that the shot fired by Ranger Speed was in the performance of his duty as an officer of the law, and that he was perfectly justified in the act, and therefore he was exonerated from all blame in the matter.
And there you have it, a tale of a despised criminal, a forgotten grave, and the rest, as they say, is history. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Miss Kitty's Wild West Adventures. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, ding the bell for notifications, and tell your friends. In the meantime, I'll catch you on down the trail.